Hello, this is Forest of Oak, Lesson 17, Divination. Does the word divination conjure up for you a picture of a gypsy in a headscarf, wearing big gold hoop earrings, poring over a crystal ball? Reading a crystal ball is just a very small part of divination. There are many, many types of divination. But what does the word mean? The dictionary says the practice of attempting to foretell future events or discover hidden knowledge by occult or supernatural means. Also means augury or prophecy, perception by intuition, instinctive foresight, which pretty much covers it. But it's not just about shuffling a set of tarot cards and pulling out one or two. There is a lot more to it. It is about connecting with the divine, connecting with spirit guides, and connecting with our psychic abilities. We must be able to make this connection to have the insights revealed to us. It is a very special and very sacred experience. The symbolic images in divination activate and speak to a deep intuitive part of ourselves, which the logical, conscious mind cannot understand or control. This part of ourselves is known as the subconscious. This subconscious aspect of being represents our inner self, those deep, highly personal feelings and qualities which provide the foundation for our entire being and give us the motivation behind our behavior, our thoughts, and our emotions, etc. The subconscious is that part of us that just knows to do something. It is the source of flashes of inspiration and creative expression. So I work with divination. We can use divination means to get answers, to seek knowledge, wisdom, guidance, and insight. But we must remember to actually listen or really see and understand what is being shown to us. And if it shows the future, we must also remember that the future is not set in stone. Divination can only show us possible outcomes. But it is a very useful tool nonetheless for guiding us and giving us answers and options. It is extremely useful if you have a dilemma and don't know what to do. It can show you alternatives, give you suggestions and options that you may not thought about. I would caution that it is advisable, if you are reading for others, never to predict death, destruction, or desperate unhappiness. There are ways of hinting and guiding them away from a situation you see or leading them to realization, but never to drop a complete bombshell on them. I would also advise never to perform a reading for someone else other than the seeker. If someone comes to you and asks for a reading for their mother, brother, neighbour, etc., then don't. It is up to the person themselves to seek you out. Always keep the positive in mind because the outcome of most things, if not all, can be changed or at least shifted. If a person has come to you for a reading, then they are usually looking for some guidance or help. Sending them away with foretelling of doom and gloom is irresponsible and unethical and downright mean. Offer them the information from the reading, but offer them the information with hope and a positive outlook and keep them on the up. What to use? So many choices. But be warned, once you start with something like tarot or oracle cards, you will usually end up with lots. There is always one more beautiful set of cards that needs to come home with you. The divination tools, such as cards or a crystal ball, act as channels or keys to our own inner psychic abilities. You will probably find as you experiment with various types that you will instantly connect with some, but not get others at all. I love using tarot and oracle cards, but have never been able to connect with runes. And obviously, this is me, and I do connect with runes. It will be slightly different for everyone. And of course, you don't actually need to purchase anything to perform divination. There are lots of divination tools in nature too. Let's look at some common and perhaps some more uncommon types. Tarot cards. Historians and scholars are still grappling with evidence to reveal the true origins and history of tarot cards. The truth is that evidence pertaining to the origin of tarot cards has never been found or proven, but is rather based on varying theories and beliefs. Some of the theories that circulate in the fraternity of scholars and researchers conclude that the term tarot either evolved from the ancient Egyptian god of magic named Tehote, or was attributed to a military order established in 1188 titled the Order of the Knights Templar. Some evidence indicates that the first tarot decks were created between 1410 and 1430 in either Milan, Ferrara, or Bologna in northern Italy, when additional trump cards with allegorical illustrations were added to the more common four-suit decks that already existed. These new decks were originally called Carte de Triomphe or Triumph cards. The first literary evidence of the existence of Carte de Triomphe is a written statement in the court records in Ferrara in 1442. The oldest surviving tarot cards are from 15 fragmented decks painted in the mid-15th century for the Visconti Sforza family, who were the rulers of Milan. Tarot is a deck of 78 cards, all with their own individual meanings. There are 21 trump or major arcana cards. These all follow the journey of the Fool throughout the major events of his life. The remaining cards make up the minor arcana, which are separated into four suits, each suit representing an element, an aspect of life. Swords are air and intellect, wands are fire and passion, cups are water and emotion, and discs or pentacles are earth and material. Each number also has a meaning. The court cards follow the suits, but each represents a person, the querent, or their personality. Although there are many different designs of tarot cards, the basic meanings for each card remain the same throughout the sets. You can do many different types of readings by using different spreads, such as a simple 3-card spread for past, present, and future, a 7-card spread for each day of the week to come, a 12-card spread for your year ahead, and so many other permutations. Oracle cards. These are cards like the tarot and seem to be usually in sets of around 44 cards, but each set will have different meanings. It will all depend on the person who designed them. They can be read in spreads like the tarot, i.e. past, present or future, but work very well for a card a day. You draw a card in the morning to see what the day holds in store for you. Runes. Generally associated with Norse traditions, the runes are a set of symbols. The runes can be read for divination or can be drawn on talismans and amulets, wands, staffs, athames, or candles to add power. The most well-known rune system is the Outer Futhark. Lithomancy. Divination using stones, crystals, bones, and shells collected in the hands, shaken and thrown. Each item will have a meaning, and where it lands will also bear relevance to the reading. Ogham, an ancient Celtic system using the symbolism of trees. Crystal ball. Using a quartz crystal in a sphere shape, usually with a candle to help with shapes and images. Scrying on the surface of the ball to see what messages you get from the images. Scrying with crystals is also called crystallomancy. For this, you can use any shape of crystal, and it doesn't have to be a sphere. Black mirror. You can use any mirrored surface to scry, but traditionally black mirrors are used in candlelight, to help bring images to you. reading tea leaves, one of the traditional ways of divination. Using loose leaf tea, the reader will swirl the leaves in the bottom of the cup to see how they move and tip them out into a saucer to see what images arise. The official name for reading tea leaves is tasseography. You can also do this using coffee grounds. Wax shapes. Officially called ceroscopy, a reader will light a candle, ask a question, and then drip wax from it onto the surface of a bowl of cold water. The answer to the query can be read in the shapes and images of the wax. Water scrying. You can scry very easily by using a bowl with a dark inner filled with water. It helps to drop a shiny silver coin in the bottom. You read the images you see on the surface. You can also add to this by dropping ink or herbs on the top of the water. This is called hydromancy. If you drop a stone into a pond or well, you can also read the ripples caused, and this is called pegomancy. Psychometry. This technique uses the vibrations of an object. The reader holds it and receives messages or images from it, which could be about its history or the people who have used the object. This can also be used to give the reader information about the owner of the item. Astrology, using the planets and star signs for divination. Dowsing, using a pendulum or diving rods. Palmistry, reading the lines and shapes in the palm of your hand. Oniromancy, dream interpretation. Ornithomancy, reading messages from the flight and the appearance of birds. Numerology, reading the messages in numbers. Cartomancy, divination using playing cards, witches' runes. A set of 13 symbols marked onto pebbles or crystals, read depending on which rune is drawn or how they fall when thrown. Nature divination. Nature provides any manner of diverse ways to work with divination, from creating your own set of Ogham staves from sticks or a rune set from discs of wood to creating a lithomancy set from stones and shells. Divination can also be found by taking notice of what is happening around you in the clouds or flight of the birds and the like. Be vigilant and track the signs that nature is offering to you. Even something as simple as sitting and watching the leaves fall from a tree can give you some kind of answers if you ask the right questions. Wild Witch Runes. It is really easy to make your own set of runes. I have created Wild Witch runes using symbols from nature and assigning meanings to them that seemed right for me. You can use any images and you don't have to be an artist to draw them. Paint the images onto pebbles, shells, glass pebbles, discs of wood or modelling clay. Dowsing. The art of dowsing was traditionally a method of divining for sources of underground water, but it can have other uses. The tool used in dowsing is usually a wooden Y-shaped stick, often from the hazel tree, although copper rods or pendulums are sometimes used as well. The Y part of the stick is held, one side in each hand, and the long part of the Y points forward. Excuse me. Sometimes 2 bent sticks or wires are used, one held in each hand. The sticks move when they find water or ley lines, or wherever it is you are seeking. Flower casting. All you need for flower casting is a selection of flower petals and leaves, along with either a plain square of fabric or a bowl of water. This divination works best at night time and preferably in the light of the moon. Focus on a question you want an answer to, then gather up the flower petals and leaves in your hand and scatter them either on the cloth or the surface of the water. Note what patterns or images you see. Where do the petals and leaves land? Are some clumped together? What does it mean to you? You can give more detail to this by assigning meanings to each different type of flower or leaf and designing a map on the fabric sectioning it into quarters to represent the directions, perhaps. So west would all be about motions and north represents home life. You get the idea. Oracles. If you are creative or artistic, you can make your own set of oracle cards, drawing or painting images of plants and flowers onto pieces of card. Pressed flowers and leaves also work well for this. Pendulums. You can make a natural pendulum fairly easily. Something like a hagstone or a shell is very simple to thread onto a piece of string, works really well for pendulum readings. You could also tie a small piece of wood to the end of a string. This works with plant matter as well, but you must use a light thread and a heavier plant, such as a big poppy seed head or dried rosebud, otherwise it won't hang properly. Philorhodiomancy. There's a long word. This one is all about roses. Divination taken from roses, rose leaves, and rose petals. You hit the rose against your hand and interpret the sound. This evolved to include a young lady picking a rose on Midsummer's Eve and wrapping it in white paper, then storing it away. The first man who found the rose and removed it was the one destined to marry her. This also included how well the dried rose kept its colour. If it faded quickly, then the lover was untrue. And of course, the rose can also be used to pluck the petals while saying the old phrase, he or she loves me, she loves me not. Pyromancy. One of my personal favourites. This is divination by fire, as in reading messages from the flames, how fierce the fire burns, what colour and shape the flames are, and how things burn that you throw onto it, such as sticks and herbs. Snail divination. You will need a willing snail for this, although how you tell whether a snail is willing or not, I don't know. You'll also need some ashes from the fire. If you don't have ashes, then flour works as well. Put a layer of the ashes or flour on the ground and gently place a snail in the middle. Allow the snail to wander around. The divination comes from the snail trail shapes and symbols he leaves in the ashes or flour. It might take some time. Other forms of divination are aeromancy, apatomancy, augury, ostomancy, botanomancy, capnomancy, daphnomancy, earth divination, hydromancy, and xylomancy. Omens and signs. Keep an eye out for any signs and signals from nature. One of the most common and well known is finding a feather in your pathway, but there are many more. What about a poorly housed plant? If you've been looking after it properly, is it sign of a sickly relationship in the family? Take a look in the garden. Are there plants growing together or entwined that don't usually mix? It could be a sign of love or relationship. Don't forget the plants that self-seed in the garden. Where are they growing and what type of plants are they? Also keep an eye on the TV, films, advertising and books. If you find the same old plant or animal popping up, it could be a message. Don't get all hung up about it though. Sometimes a weed is just a weed and a coincidence is just that. Trust your intuition to know which are messages or have meaning and which aren't. Here are some that I know of. If a bee flies into your home, you will soon have a visitor, other than the bee. If you kill the bee, you will have bad luck, and so you should, or the visitor will be an unpleasant one. A bird in the house was said to be a sign of death, but I wouldn't panic too much. Death can mean the ending of something. It doesn't have to mean a dead body. If you say goodbye to a friend while standing on a bridge, you will never see them again. If the first butterfly you see in the year is white, then you will have good luck all year. Seeing 3 butterflies together is very lucky. And of course, the good old black cat. If a black cat walks towards you, then it brings good fortune. But if it walks away from you, it takes the good luck with them. The solution is to always have kitty treats in your pocket. Don't step on a crack in the pavement. I used to think the bears would get me. We don't have any bears here though. But if it comes from the rhyme step on a crack, break your mother's back. A cricket coming to the house brings good luck with it. A dog howling at night when someone inside is poorly or it is a bad omen. Finding the first flower of spring has a meaning depending on what day of the week you find it. Monday is good fortune, Tuesday is success, Wednesday is marriage, Thursday is a warning to keep an eye on your money, Friday means prosperity, Saturday means bad luck, and Sunday means good luck for a few weeks. Catch a falling leaf on the first day of autumn, and you won't catch a cold or winter. If a white moth tries to enter your home, keep it out because it's said to foretell death. An awful lot of these relate to death, don't they? Seeing an owl during the daytime is said to be bad luck. Make a wish on the first robin of spring that you see, but make sure to finish the wish before it flies away. If you see 3 seagulls flying directly above you, check your life insurance because it is foretelling of death. Yep, another one. Killing a sparrow always brings bad luck. Just don't kill birds, okay? Because the sparrow is said to carry souls of the dead. Seeing a spider run down its web means you will be taking a trip. There follows on the lesson PDF, Cloud Meditation. And there is a link there for a guided meditation on YouTube. Homework 1. How do you feel about divination and its uses? 2. Create a herbal tea blend to increase your psychic powers. What did you use and why? And how did it taste? 3. Make a loose incense blend to help with your divination work. What did you use and why? And how did it smell? 4. Work with the cloud meditation. Record your results. 5. Pick one of these divination branch lessons to work through, and these lessons will be emailed to you. Let us know which one you prefer. There is Witches' Runes, Pendulum, Runes, Ogham, or Tarot. Please bear in mind if you pick Tarot, it takes several weeks at least to complete. Homework for each lesson should be emailed to your mentor, Ness or Heather, support@kitchenwitchhearth.net. For further study, there is Rachel's YouTube divination playlist, and there is a Kitchen Witch blog on divination.